Good afternoon. We look across this magnificent velodrome here in the Lee Valley VeloPark as we get ready for the final day of competition here in these track cycling world championships. Everyone's streaming in to this velodrome, and so far we've had some fantastic action. The final medals will be presented this afternoon. This is the medal table after 15 events. Great Britain at the top of the standings with 7 medals in total. Italy have 1 gold, so did New Zealand and the United States of America. And there are the remember of the nations as we count down to the top 13. Here are the countries who have scored 1 bronze medal so far in these championships. We'll see whether they can add to their tally later on. This is what we've got on the schedule for this afternoon. We're going to see the women's sprint. That'll go all the way through to its conclusion. The men's Keirin enters its second round. We'll see that conclude as well. And the women's Omnium. We'll see who is the world champion. The men's Keirin will continue all the way through its conclusion, and then we end the racing with the men's at Madison, which is always a thrilling way to end the World Championships. As we look across the track, here are the conditions. The humidity at 26%. It's pretty warm in here today, 26 degrees centigrade. A lot warmer than outside. 6,000 people are in this velodrome this afternoon enjoying the action. Here are commissaires. They make sure that the rules are adhered to. They make the difficult decisions. They will make sure that all these medals are awarded in the correct fashion during the afternoon. The crowd all getting ready then to cheer on these final medals of these World Track Championships. Many different nationalities represented, but of course, lots of Great Britain fans are in the crowd. There's Laura Trott. She leads the Omnium at the moment, still smiling. Pretty much always is. You rarely see her without a smile or a giggle on her face until she puts her race face on. Just taking a gel on board to make sure that she's ready for competition later on. Our first race is going to be the women's sprint semi-finals. These are the riders who will be taking to the track. The women's sprint semi-finals. Here are the heats. Anna Mears of Australia up against Lin Junghong of China. Jianxi Xiong is up against Christina Vogel. riders then getting themselves focused and ready for competition. Christina Vogel looking very, very focused and ready for this competition. Anna Mears just getting herself into the focus zone. It's funny, these athletes will hardly see you if you walk past them at this time in the race. This is the moment where they get themselves into that situation where they know they can fight it out to get themselves through to the finals. We're going to see 3 runs of competition if necessary. Vogel, the defending champion, Anna Mears alongside her. If things go to plan, then Mears and Vogel would meet in the final, but of course the 2 Chinese riders, very, very talented indeed. Just got the blanket or the jerseys over the legs just to keep them nice and warm, having warmed up. It is 26 degrees in here, but you can cool down. Onto the track then in this semi-final. 3 rides to decide who goes through to the final. Anna Mears on the left-hand side. A great reception for Anna Mears. She had so many tussles with Victoria Pendleton, who actually I just spent lunch with and had a coffee with her and learned all about her horse racing, which is absolutely incredible. And there is our Chinese coach holding up his rider Zheng Hong, and the cast on the hand after smashing it on the table when the team sprint were relegated. Zheng Hong in the red and yellow, Anna Mears in the white, green and gold of Australia. Mears has got a power meter underneath her saddle, as well as the onboard camera. Zheng Hong has a camera underneath the saddle. Anna Mears using quite a retro saddle on her bike. You can just hear the chain just turning over as they get their tactics how they want them. Zheng Hong's obviously decided she's not going to get up onto that track. She's just going to roll along, maybe try and maneuver Anna Mears into the front position, so she can use the element of surprise, try and stay in the slipstream of Mears. Remember watching Anna Mears just before the Olympic Games final, doing squat jumps about 4 stairs at a time underneath this London velodrome to get her muscles firing. It was something I'll never forget. Absolutely incredible to see the strength of an athlete like this. And now they're going to open up the sprint. Remember, it is the best of 3 rides as Zheng Hong goes to the front. Mears looking to get into the slipstream. Has she got the speed? Is she hanging back here as they go round the final turns? Mears now is going to try and pounce, heading in towards the finish, but the Chinese rider has it. 11.572. Mears looked to just maybe start that sprint a little bit late. Zheng Hong goes 1-0 up I don't know whether Anna Mears quite got on top of the gear there, or whether she just waited a little bit too long to try and fire past. She left it very, very late to try and go past Zheng Hong, who goes 1-0 up. Now Mears has to bring this to a decider to try and go for the gold medal. Not quite half a wheel, maybe just over it. And they'll go back and they'll come back on this track in a little while. Christina Vogel getting ready. Just being talked to by our coach, always very important, those last few words of encouragement to get things ready.
She was a world team sprint champion last year, Tianqi Shong.
This is Tianqi Shong up onto the track, the defending champion now. Christina Vogel makes her way onto the start line. Can she take a hat-trick of victories in the World Sprint competition? Staring into each other's faces on the start line. That was pretty impressive, just staring each other out. You can't see the eyes behind these visors, but the intent is there. We saw Anna Mears the other day when she went up to Nadenko and gave her a proper stare, including the "I'm looking at you" signal with 2 fingers on 1 finger, straight into the eyes of Nadenko. Again, the best of 3 rides between Tianqi Shong and Christina Vogel. Shong is in the red and yellow of China, Vogel in the colours of Germany. So far, Vogel has looked very, very strong. Gets out of the saddle to go to the top. She spent the winter in Cape Town in South Africa, getting ready for this season, getting lots of warm weather training. And been able to be in the velodrome there. And now they're going to start to accelerate. It is Vogel on the front. Chong in second place. The Chinese are looking strong. Vogel, though, is going to hold her up the track. Vogel now hits the black line. Look at the acceleration of Vogel, but Tianqi Shong's trying to come back at her. She's a very good team sprinter. The Chinese rider is going to challenge Vogel on the line. Oh, who got that? I think it could have been Chong, who just got past on the line. That was very, very impressive. Here's the replay. Well, that's a turn-up. It looked like Vogel had the measure of Tianqi Shong, but now she's going to have to go back into the track centre and she's going to have to try and work this one out. Vogel hasn't really been beaten so far in the sprint. Here's the replay. Vogel had lots of distance between her and Tianqi Shong, but somehow the Chinese rider getting into the slipstream and then still having the speed to go round the outside before the finish line. Vogel looked like she had it, but right on the line, the Chinese rider, as they threw the bike, takes it by less than half a wheel. Tianqi Shong goes 1-0 up to Christina Vogel in the women's sprint semi-finals.
We move to the men, the second round of the Keirin.
Let's turn our attention then to the men's Keirin. This is the second round, heat number 1. And this is the lineup for this men's Keirin. This should be an interesting one with Jason Kenny, Eilers and Dawkins all in this group of riders. 4 gold medalists in here as we get ready. Alongside me then for this men's Keirin is rider 3 times a world champion. A very warm welcome to Carly McCulloch of Australia. Carly, this is a big heat, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is, and we're seeing again, we've got the 2 New Zealanders in the same heat, so that's a little bit unlucky for them. Obviously, Jason Kenny's in there as well. He's done well to come back through the repechauges, and I think Eilers is probably one of the ones who's looking pretty favourite for the race today.
Eilers has been strong. He, of course, won the kilometre. Very, very strong bike rider, Eilers. So he will try and, I guess, from his tactical point of view, try and go from the front and lead out. The Keirin underway. This is the 2nd round. 3 riders will qualify for the final, and the other riders will be in the minor place ride-off. So just to remind you then, the Russian at the front is Shershin. Behind him, the 2 New Zealanders, Dawkins and Webster. Behind them is Eilers, then we have Kellerman, then we have Jason Kenny at the back. The tactics then of this Keirin, each rider has their own individual strengths, don't they? So they'll have, I guess, before the race worked out what their tactics are going to be. Yeah,
and look, it was interesting off the start there. We saw Kenny not actually really try and go for the bike, so he's clearly going to try and look for a run, probably from Eilers, I would say. I would expect Eilers to go to the front at some stage. The dangerous 2 there is actually Webster and Dawkins, because you know, we saw them in the earlier rounds actually both lead out their heats, so with 2 of them there, they could be very dangerous.
In terms of Keirin racing, are the riders allowed to ride in a team? Is there any team tactics allowed?
It's not allowed, so it's certainly frowned upon. So it will be interesting to see what the 2 New Zealand boys do. But you know, tactics are to, you know, follow wheels or to set yourself in a good position. So, you know, it may be Webster's tactic to follow Dawkins.
If you're trying to tell the 2 riders apart, Ed Dawkins is the rider who has no gloves on, and Webster has gloves on. And I guess as a Keirin and sprinter, you'd be thinking, oh, I wouldn't be too happy riding with no gloves on.
Yeah, definitely not. And that's actually a rule that the UCI brought in to make sure that there was a distinguishing feature between riders, because as you can see, they look quite identical. As we see the Derny just about to swing off here, Dawkins is taking Eilers wide.
Yeah, he wants to try and manoeuvre him into be able to hold him off, but Eilers wants the front position here with 2 laps to go. Eilers wants to lead this one out, Carly.
Certainly does, and we see Kenny's just laying off Dawkins' wheel there as we come into the bell lap. Eilers is very, very strong. Look at the gap he's putting to the riders here.
1 lap to go then, as Eilers really opens up the gas now. Remember, 3 riders will qualify, and he has led out for almost 2 laps, and Eilers takes it. Dawkins was up there, and so was Jason Kenny. That was an incredible ride there. So it was Eilers, Dawkins, Kenny, the top 3. We'll take a look here at the replay in a second. We'll just have a look and see how that one was taken by Eilers. Carly, he led out from a long way.
He certainly did, and you know, I was expecting that tactic, and Dawkins, as you can see, just giving a bit of a gap to Eilers there, and what that does is it gives him room to move, and he's able to then enter the slipstream as we come up the home straight here and almost beat Eilers on the line.
Impressive riding then by Ed Dawkins. So it will be Kenny, Eilers and Dawkins who go through to contest the final, which is a very strong lineup as far as that final is concerned already.
Yeah, so far we've got 3 very good riders. So in the second race here, that's just about to come up onto the track, we've got Lee Valley VeloPark, who are certainly going to be, it's going to be a hotly contested field as well.
There's the second round results. Heat number 1, Islas, Dawkins, Kenny advance to the next round. Carly, take a look at this. This is the camera of Jason Kenny.
Yeah, there was actually some great footage from the women's Keirin the other night where there was all 3 Australians in the footage. So these onboard cameras are really, really fantastic. The UCI is doing a really great job with, you know, bringing the action on board to the spectators.
You can see just how hard everyone is working as they power their way into the finish line. See how close the riders race with each other. Here's the second round, heat number 2, and in here we have Pervis, twice the world champion. Maximilian Levy, the silver medalist in 2013, is also in here, and a Wang, the bronze medalist of last year. Francois Pervis looking a little bit out of sorts earlier on. This is the Korean rider alongside him, and then we have Levy. The Azerbaijan rider is Omolchenko, a Wang of Malaysia. And finally, the Japanese rider, Wakimoto. That's our lineup. Now, the Japanese rider in the first round looked very good. Yeah,
he was very impressive. Again, reminded me quite a bit of Islas, and I think that we're going to see him go to the front at some stage early on in the race as well. These races are not being won from the back, so these riders are going to be trying to get off the line as quickly as they can. So we'll just see that now as the gun goes off. A big push there to the Koreans, so you can see that he's going to try and get the front there.
When you draw the lots for the start, I thought, or some people would think, you have to line up in that order, but it's okay for him to do that.
So what the rule is actually that whoever draws 1 is obliged to take the motorbike unless someone else goes to take the motorbike first. So only rider 1 is obliged to take it, and everybody else can sort of jostle and figure out whether they want to go there or not.
That's the rules then of Keirin Racing. 8 laps of the track. The riders are left on the track with 2.5 laps to go. And of course, if you overlap the Derny at all, then you're eliminated.
That's correct. So you have to wait for the Derny to actually leave the apron of the track before you can pass it.
The riders then all lined out behind this bike. Japanese Keirin Racing is absolutely massive. Carly has ridden over there on the massive outdoor tracks. Huge betting. It's a very amazing, it's an amazing sport, isn't it, over there?
It is, and you know, the whole experience is just quite incredible. You know, you have to go into lockdown for 24 hours before you even get out there and race. You can't sort of fiddle with your helmet before you race or anything like that, in case that's like sending a signal to you know, bettors outside. So it's quite strict, and it's a very exciting scene.
I was lucky enough to go and watch Keirin racing in Tokyo. I couldn't believe what it was like. The amount of money that is gambled on a night of Keirin racing is just mind-blowing.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's one of the most exciting events on the track, and I think that we're going to see a really good race here. You can see the Azerbaijan rider trying to force some people to go early here.
And he's doing that just by manoeuvring up and down the track. He's made a Wang go, and a Wang is going to the front in the yellow and black. He's a magnificent sprinter. Team of Korea is at the front. Maximilian Levy, you may remember him and Chris Hoy in the final of the Keirin in London 2012. Coming up now with 2 laps to go, and Levy making a move.
Yeah, Levy's gone around the outside with an incredible amount of pace. As we see the Japanese rider now also following. A Wang's right in there. I think a Wang's going to hang on there.
1 lap to go now in towards the finish line, and it is Levy who's looking good. Hits the finish line, and Levy takes it. Very, very easy indeed for Maximilian Levy. Well, he was beaten by Chris Hoy in London 2012, that famous final corner. In fact, Chris Hoy is here, and he was recounting that earlier on today. Levy, the acceleration, massive.
Yeah, he's in there. Your seat acceleration was absolutely phenomenal there. And we see him just putting so much distance into everyone else. He actually sits up here as we come into the home straight.
Wang was in second place. Wakimoto of Japan in third. we don't see many Japanese Keirin riders contest the World Championships and get through to the finals. This is a bit of an exception.
Yeah, look, this is an exception. I'm really actually happy for the Japanese rider because I know this will be really quite huge back in Japan. But what you find is the Japanese racing in Japan is actually quite different to being on these indoor tracks. The tracks in Japan tend to be outdoors on concrete, so this is a little bit unique for the Japanese riders.
Great. Well, Carly, thank you for being with us. From what you've seen, who's your tip for the win in the men's Keirin as we look here at the result, those three going through to the final?
I'm going to say probably Eilers, I think. I think he's got great form, and this Keirin is suiting his strengths, which we've seen him in the kilo already. So I'm backing Germany here.
OK, Carly McCulloch is backing Germany for the final of the men's Keirin. It's always a pleasure to have Carly McCulloch with us during the racing. Thank you very much, Carly. All the very best for the build-up, of course, to later on in the year. And we've all enjoyed listening to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Turn our attention to the women's sprint semi-finals. Anna Mears and Lin Junghong are back on the track. Lin Junghong is the rider who leads up 1-0 at this moment in time. Anna Mears has got to get all her tactics right to bring this one to a decider. The pressure is on now. Anna Mears goes to the front. What are her tactics going to be to get this one to a deciding ride this afternoon? Anna Mears is an incredible bike rider. Hundreds of medals in competition. Lin Junghong, her coach, will have just said, just do what you did before. All you need to do now is beat Anna Mears, go through to the final, and then I think you would be looking at a favourite here for the world title. Great atmosphere in this velodrome this afternoon. Eager anticipation of this tussle between Mears and Junghong. Mears constantly looking around. She just looks to her left-hand side now. She'll look at the screens around the velodrome to keep an eye on what's going on. She's gone past her coach as well. And now she's going to go up on the track and she's going to try and maneuver Junghong into the front. Mears is going to take this to a standstill. The most successful sprinter still racing on the track. And Mears just kicking the bike a little bit there. Junghong has not taken the bait so far. This is Anna Mears' bike, looking back at the Chinese rider. This is a real game between these two riders. Mears has tried to maneuver the Chinese rider into the front. It hasn't happened. Hear the squeaking almost of the pedals in the chain because it's going so slowly. now they are just toying with each other on the track. The red line round the bottom of the track is the sprinters line, and that is where in the final lap the first riders to enter that red line mustn't come out of it. And now Jung Hong is going to try and accelerate around the top. 1 lap of racing to go. Jung Hong has the advantage on Mears. Mears now is giving this some throttle. Oh, Jung Hong kicked the bike a little bit. Mears is coming back at her, and Jung Hong is there, but Jung Hong is going to make it into the final. 11.461. The bike's kind of kicked to the right-hand side, but she had so much speed. Mears was trying to use the jump that she has to outmaneuver Jung Hong. She tried to give it a little bit more throttle down the back straight. You could see the bike kicking of Jung Hong, and I thought that was the moment she was going to lose the race. But she still had the focus and the poise to take this one to the line. Anna Mears congratulates Lin Jung Hong, who will go through to the final. The result of Heat 1 race number 2, and Jung Hong will go through to ride for the gold medal. Mears will ride for the bronze. Looking here at Christina Vogel, she is up in the next round. She also has to bring this one to a decider. Little almost golf ball dimples on the skin suit of Christina Vogel, just in that camera shot a moment ago as she made her way off the start line. Vogel is down 1 ride here to a competitor, Jianqi Xiong of China. Vogel, the last 2 years, has been the world champion. Her dream is to pull on the rainbow bands and get a hat-trick of victories in this sprint contest. She beat Xiong in 2014 in the gold medal ride-off. So she knows she can beat her. She just has to get her tactics right as she brings the bike to a standstill. The strength of Christina Vogel and the technical ability being shown there as she brought the bike to a stand, but the Chinese rider not enticed into the front. Vogel's now going to go up to the top of this banking on the side, which is a little bit lower in terms of its percentage. And now we're on board with Christina Vogel's bike as she waits to see where Xiong is going to pounce. Xiong does go now. Vogel has finally got her where she wants her, but Xiong's going to take Vogel right up to the balustrade up the top. That was a big maneuver. A lot of tactical mouse going on here. And now Vogel and Xiong are going to go elbow to elbow, touching elbows. And Vogel now is working this to try and go past, but the Chinese rider's looking quick. Vogel doesn't have the speed. It's going to be 2 Chinese riders in the gold medal ride-off. Same to you. It's going to be Jianqi Xiong and Lin Jung Hong who are going to be in the final. And we're going to have a bronze medal ride-off between Christina Vogel and Anna Mears. Absolutely incredible sprinting. No inch taken at all, was it? They were touching elbows as they came round towards turn 4 on the track. But these Chinese riders, they lost the gold medal in the team sprint. It cost their coach there in the black t-shirt a broken hand. He was so angry. Confirmation of Heat 2, Race 2, Qianqi Xiong 2-0 up to Christina Vogel. There's the advancement to the finals of the women's sprint.
Just over there. I wanted to ask you about the tactics, because Jason lost the first of the 3 and then came back to win the second and the third. So what were you able to say to him, and what did you change to help him come back and win?
When you come out and miss the 3, you always got to go back and look at what you could change to ride. We did that.
Looking out across the track, we're coming to the conclusion now of the women's Omnium.
So how much is it tactics and how much is it just confidence?
Earlier on today then, the riders rode the 500-metre time trial. Annette Edmondson, the defending champion, racing on the track, trying to get her Omnium competition back on track this afternoon. And Edmondson racing through to set the fastest time of 35.095. This is Laurie Burton, second in this 500-metre time trial. A very impressive performance by Laurie Burton. Stopping the clock, 35.143, the former junior world champion in the team sprint, up there on the standings. The final race was between the overnight leader, Sarah Hammer, and Laura Trott, the Olympic champion, going head-to-head here. Hammer looking like she was on maybe a bit of a fight with the gear she had on the bike. Laura Trott looking fast from the start. Going through second fastest, Hammer off the pace, dropping away. This is costing her. And Laura Trott racing in towards the conclusion of the 500-metre time trial. A great start for her, finishing third, and Hammer, a real blow for her, finishing in 10th place. The standings then after that 500-metre time trial, Laura Trott opening up a 14-point advantage on Sarah Hammer. This is the flying lap, which was held just earlier on today, the 5th event. And Alison Beveridge of Canada, Team Pursuit silver medalist, racing around the track looking very, very quick and setting the fastest time of 13.924. A great result for the Canadian. Up on the track, Annette Edmondson of Australia, looking again to put herself up in the standings in the women's Omnium. She has been on the podium for the last few years, and she wants to make sure she continues with that. Annette Edmondson racing into the finish line, stopping the clock, second fastest, 14.232. The next rider up on the track was Laurie Burton. This rider has really started to come good in the women's Omnium, trying to put herself ahead of Alison Beveridge of Canada. Looking very, very quick on the track, and when she stopped the clock, she had beaten Annette Edmondson. She moved into second place, 14.012. Penultimate rider was Sarah Hammer of the United States of America, trying to put the Omnium back on track after that 10th place in the 500-metre time trial. She looked much, much better in this flying lap, getting all the power through the pedals, and Hammer finished in 4th place in 14.275. Laura Trott with a massive crowd cheering her on. keeping her racing consistent and looking still very rapid on the track. These London boards are good to the Golden Girl. As she races to the conclusion of the race, she stopped the clock, good enough for 3rd place. And here are the results of that flying lap. Alison Beveridge, top of the leaderboard. Burton in 2nd, Trott in 3rd. And with 5 events gone, Laura Trott leads with a 12-point advantage now on Laurie Burton. Sarah Hammer with 166 and Annette Edmondson still there on the leaderboard. Emily Diedrichsen, she had a bad couple of events leading into this final race. She's there in 8th. And here's the rest of the top 20. This is the points race, which concludes the Omnium. Last night in the men's Omnium, we had an absolutely incredible finish. 3 riders finishing on the same number of points. The riders then have ridden the scratch race, the individual pursuit, the elimination race, the time trial, and the flying lap. The points race sprints every 10 laps. We have 100 laps to go. And the points situation is that on each of the sprints there are 5 points for the winner, 3 for 2nd place, 2 for 3rd, 1 for 4th. And if you take a lap on the field, you score 20 points on your opposition. So someone like Annette Edmondson, if she scored 20 points, she'd be immediately up into joint 2nd place as the standings start right now. Nicely settling down now, 98 laps to go. Thank you very much to all of you for your messages on Twitter. @AnMcCrossan is where you can join me. Hello to a few of you who've messaged in, Stefano Bertolotti, Erin Witchard and various others. Some nice questions coming in today on Twitter. 97 laps to go. Our first sprint will come up with 90 laps remaining in the race. On the front of the race then is Annette Edmondson, the defending world champion. 4 years on the podium. That's the rider gone to the top of the track in the white, gold and green. She's had 1 gold, 1 silver, 2 bronzes. The riders really have to keep their wits about them. The rider in turquoise there with the Belgian flag colours is Jolien Dora. Rides for Wiggle High Five, a teammate of Annette Edmondson on the road. Riders leading through. The tempo very steady, a little bit cagey right now. Riders have got to hold their position in this Omnium. All important for Rio 2016 qualification for some, and for the riders who are up there and in with a shout of winning. I'd say the top 5 or 6 riders have a big chance of winning here. That's Trott, Burton, Hammer, Edmondson, Dora and Beveridge. They will be watching each other very, very closely and making sure no one takes a lap. First attack then of the day here in the points race is Simona Frapporti of Italy in the blue. Frapporti, 27 years of age, a stage winner in the Route de France and 6th in the Aviva Women's Tour. Just starting to up the tempo a little bit. The riders don't like the tempo to be too slow. There's not much room on the track to manoeuvre. Laura Trott, the Olympic champion, comes to the front. In the yellow and red is Lira Oliveira. Oliveira, the Spaniard, a bronze medalist in the scratch race in Beijing. This is our first sprint then, starting to open up. The bell goes. You'll start to get the idea if you've never seen the points race before. And the crowd roar as Lira Oliveira and Laura Trott go side by side for the first point of the day, and Trott is going to take 5, immediately putting herself in the situation as the overall leader. I just caught a glimpse of Eleanor Barker sitting in the crowd, her teammate in the team pursuit, watching Laura Trott. The result of sprint number 1, Laura Trott with 5 points, Sarah Hammer scores 3, Oliveria 2, Burton with 1 point. So there's an element of attack and defence going on here. The top 3 riders, Hammer, Burton and Trott, looking to keep their positions, and Edmondson, Dora Beveridge trying to find a way to move up. Here's the standings: Trott, Burton, Hammer and Edmondson, the top 4. Well, thank you to all of you who have joined us for these World Track Championships. Thanks for all the messages that we've had. On the front then is the Russian rider, and that's Babalabina. Now, yesterday in the men's race, Roger Kluger took 2 laps on the opposition to move himself up into the medals. It was very impressive indeed. This is Kirsten Wield, the Netherlands rider in the orange. Wield is 7th overall, 126 points. If she took a lap, she'd move up into 6th position. She'd overtake Beveridge. Kirsten Wield now being encouraged by the crowd. 4 times a winner of the Ladies Tour of Qatar, which is a very flat race. Sandy, flat and windy, I think is how you would describe it. And Wield opening up her advantage. Trying now to catch the back of the peloton. She was the world champion of the scratch race in 2015. Lu of China trying to go across, and Laura Trott and the rest staying closer to the front. Kirsten Wield, though, as you can see, is almost able to see the back of the peloton in front of her. This would give her 20 points to her total if she in fact made it there. 82 laps to go. What Wield will do is she'll pick up the 5 points, and then she will then wait till she picks those up, and then she'll try and close the gap on the peloton, so she'll in effect take 25 points to add to her total, which will put her in a much better position. Kirsten Wield takes 5, and behind her the Chinese rider Liu is there, and the Venezuelan rider Gonzalez is in 3rd place. In 4th place looked like Anna Kanawa of Germany. And now Wield is starting to up the tempo. Very clever riding by Kirsten Wield of the Netherlands. 5 points to her that time. Liu of China with 3, Gonzalez with 2, Kanawa with 1. Kirsten Wield could be the first rider to lap the peloton in this women's Omnium points race, and it'll put her way up on the standings, just 1 point behind Annette Edmondson. Meanwhile, Jolien Dora is on the front of the peloton trying to make life as hard as possible for Kirsten Wield. She's trying to up the tempo. She does not want Kirsten Wield to get on, because it means that Jolien Dora will be overtaken by Kirsten Wield in the standings. Closing up on the peloton now, the big sprinter from the Netherlands. 76 laps of racing to go. 75 now for Kirsten Wield. She's almost there, and the crowd are giving her as much encouragement as possible. Kirsten Wield just a few meters behind the peloton. Kirsten Wild, the former world scratch race champion, takes a lap on the rest of the peloton and adds 20 points to her total. Confirmation then that Kirsten Wild has taken the lap. This is how then it affects the standings. It is Laura Trott still at the top, Burton in second, Hammer in third, Annette Edmondson still in fourth place. But it means that Kirsten Wild has moved into fifth and she leapfrogs Jolien Dora of Belgium. Some attacks going on now with the sprint lap coming up. It's very loud in this velodrome. The Belarusian takes the points there. Sharakova wearing number 5. The Cuban is Mekias, took the second place. Laura Trott took 2 in third, and Sarah Hammer took fourth place. There's confirmation of sprint number 3. Sharakova, Mekias, Trott and Hammer, which leaves the standings looking like this. Laura Trott 191, Burton 173, Hammer 170, Edmondson on 152. Wild still there, 1 point behind Edmondson. Jolien Dora further 1 point behind. Thank you to Ramp Rider 75 for your message. Thanks to all of you who've messaged in on Twitter as we watch the women's Omnium points race here in London. 68 laps of racing to go, and now a big attack, and it comes from the New Zealander Lauren Ellis, twice silver medalist in the World Championship team pursuit and points race, and silver medalist in the Commonwealth Games. This is an impressive ride by Lauren Ellis. She's going to take a lap very, very quickly indeed. She started in 14th place on 78 points, and Lauren Ellis takes a lap already. Lauren gets straight in the slipstream. That's the important thing. Lauren Ellis takes 20 points for gaining a lap, and that will really affect her position overall. With 62 laps of racing to go, Laura Trott leads, still the same top 4. And here are the top 8 riders. Lauren Ellis moves into 11th place, having taken the 20 points, so moves 14th to 11th. As we see Jolien Dora now on the attack. Jolien Dora needs to take a lap now. She's got 150 points. She's putting Sarah Hammer now on the ropes. And Jolien Dora scores the maximum 5 points. Behind her, I think, was Diedrichsen. Yep, Diedrichsen took 3. Sprint 4 of 10. Jolien Dora takes 5, Diedrichsen 3, Sharakova 2. That leaves the standings looking like this. Laura Trott leads. Jolien Dora slots into 4th place, just leapfrogging Annette Edmondson of Australia. There's Laura Trott, sitting with her advantage intact. 18 points is her advantage on Laurie Burton. She's already won the World Championship scratch race earlier on this week. Colours of Lauren Ellis. Tempo nice and steady at the moment. The sprint's just working their way through. But of course, these riders have ridden these 5 events. They're pretty tired. Annette Edmondson was in an ice bath at 11:20 last night. She tweeted a photograph of her. She's still trying to recover from that injury after being hit by a car in training. So Edmondson, I think she would be very, very happy with a medal and be up there on the podium. It's been a big ask even for her to just race. I saw her on day 1 and she said, I'm okay, but she showed me the damage on her leg and she was black and blue, I think it's safe to say. It shows how tough these bike riders are. Burton squeezing up on the inside onto the wheel of Sarah Hammer. Burton, this would be her best ever finish in an Omnium. She was 14th in the World Championships last year, the rider from France, a 24-year-old. But I think Burton is the most improved Omnium rider of this season. She's been riding all the World Cups. We've seen her getting better and better. Now Sarah Hammer and Laura Trott are involved in another battle, and Trott is really showing how good she is. This is her denting the morale of the rest of the riders ready for Rio. Trott now scores another 5 points for Great Britain. She won 2 gold medals here in London in 2012. Sprint number 5 and 10, Trott takes 5, Hammer takes 3, Burton 2, Diedrichsen 1. So the main medal hopefuls score points in that sprint. Trott now leads with a 21-point advantage on Laurie Burton. Sarah Hammer now moves into the firmly into that bronze medal position. Jolien Dora and Edmondson need a lap to get themselves in there. But Trott is looking like she is just deciding when she stamps her authority. It means that she's got 21 points intact on Burton, which means that Burton needs an entire lap and a sprint to actually move herself to the top of the leaderboard. Thanks for all your messages. At Macrosson is where you can find me on Twitter. Annette Edmondson is up at the top of the track. Anna Kanauer, Simona Frapporti, Amelie Diedrichsen in the red and white of Denmark. I know she's got loads of support. Liri Oliveria up towards the front. Now Edmondson decides it's time to try and stretch this race out a little bit. An immediate reaction from Anna Kanauer, who sits 13th overall, 95 points. For Anna Kanauer at the moment. I have to admire the fight in Edmondson. She said she can't believe that she's a world champion. Comes from a great cycling family. Her brother is a fantastic bike rider as well. And Alison Beveridge sitting at the moment in 7th place. Weald has overtaken her. Needs to protect her position against Diedrichsen. The tempo relatively steady with 43 laps to go. There was almost a touch of wheels in there between Jolien Dora and I think the Venezuelan or Russian rider. Jolien Dora had a bit of a tumble in Hong Kong. She cracked her ribs. She rode her way all the way through the Hong Kong World Cup Omnium as well. It was pretty impressive considering how much pain she must have been in. 1 lap to go to the next sprint, and it's Dora on the front. Alison Beveridge of Canada. Trott is getting involved in all these sprints. She moves up on the outside. She's going to score a few more points. She seems to be doing it with relative ease. Hammer, Burton, Trott, the 3 first riders across the line yet again. Sprint number 6 of 10. Hammer takes 5, Burton 3, Trott 2, and Dora with 1. That means that the standings will change a little bit. And this is how they look. Trott now with a 20-point advantage on second place, Sarah Hammer, with Laurie Burton now in 3rd and Jolene Dora in 4th place. The defending champion Annette Edmondson is in 5th, Weald in 6th, and Beveridge and Diedrichsen make up the top 8. Trotty has changed her shoes for this race. She's got the personally designed shoes that she's wearing. There you go. She was wearing black ones during the time trial events, but she designed these herself. You might get a bit mesmerised with the turning of those pedals. Diedrichsen making a move. I saw her just riding back into the track after lunch. I think she'd gone out to have a little bit of a chat to herself to try and get this Omnium back on track. Diedrichsen is one of the youngest riders in the field. 8th overall, 116 points she has at the moment. Again, 35 laps to go in this women's Omnium points race. Lauren Ellis has already taken 1 lap. She's on 98 points. She decides to go it again. This is good news for Lauren Ellis. She's not hurting her points tally as far as World Championship Omniums is concerned. And if she took this lap this time, she would move herself above Amelie Diedrichsen and move into 8th place overall. An impressive performance by Lauren Ellis. Lauren Ellis stretching this out, Beveridge going with her. Beveridge and the Cuban Mekias trying to close the gap. We're coming up to the next sprint. 32 laps of racing to go. 4 sprints left. This is the Cuban Mekias, but we go back here to Lauren Ellis. She's going to take the sprint, so she'll take 5 points. That'll move her up to 103 points. And behind her, we see Mekias and Beveridge. And Lauren Ellis takes another lap on the field. Fantastic performance by Lauren Ellis. 2 laps taken in this race so far, and she doesn't look like she's out of fight yet as she goes with the attacks at the front of the race. 28 laps to go. Lauren Ellis took the 5 points, Mekias 3, Beveridge 2, Diedrichsen 1. That was sprint number 7 of 10. That the overall will change a little bit. Laura Trott, though, still at the top, 20 points advantage on Hammer. Burton equal on points, so the fight for the silver is between those two. Jolene Dora in 4th. And just to tidy up as far as Lauren Ellis is concerned, she's now moved into 9th place. So she's really moved herself up from 14th to 9th with 2 laps taken. The rider's not too concerned about it, but if she starts to take a have decided to go for another lap, and Lauren Ellis is going to be a danger to the top 8 riders overall. Annette Edmondson now goes on the attack with Laura Trott. Yolene Dora now goes with her. Dora and Edmondson, teammates on the road. Kirsten Wield is there, another great road rider. Laura Trott, who rides for Matrix Pro Cycling when she's not riding for Great Britain. And the Russian is Balabalina. The chase is very much on, but the tempo at the front of this race is very, very high. Yolene Dora swings up, 22 laps of racing to go. 3 more sprints to decide this World Championship Omnium, and it's Laura Trott who's looking around to see where all the other riders are. The bell goes for the next sprint lap, and it's Kirsten Wield who is on the front. She swings up, she lets Yolene Dora go through. On the wheel is Annette Edmondson, who's going to try and take the points. Diedrichsen is a bit more concerned about it now as well. Trott is going to try and take the 5, but Annette Edmondson does, so Trott takes 3. And that moves Annette Edmondson very close now to the medals. 20 laps to go. Sprint number 8. Here's the result. Annette Edmondson has 5, Trott has 3, Diedrichsen 2, and Dora with 1. And the overall standings change a little bit. Laura Trott with 201, Hammer 178, tied on points with Burton, and Edmondson 157. Now in 4th. Here's the rundown of the top 8. The interesting move has been that of Lauren Ellis, who moves into the top 10 now on 1, 2, 3. Two more sprints remain in this women's Omnium. They've been racing for 2 days now. So far, Laura Trott's finished 3rd in the scratch race, 2nd in the individual pursuit, 2nd in the elimination, 3rd in the time trial, 3rd in the flying lap. That's what the Omnium is all about. It's about consistency and scoring points. As Kirsten Wield now goes for it, this would move her up into 4th place if she can take the lap from the rest of the field. Beveridge goes as well, Balabalina, and the Chinese rider is also in the gap. ...14 laps of racing remain. Kirsten Wield opening up an advantage with Beveridge and also Chao Ling Luo. Tempo relatively fast out here. These riders will have very sore legs after 5 events. This is the 6th. Kirsten Wield at the front of the race, a trio of riders. Chao Ling Luo is the Chinese rider. Alison Beveridge is in here as well. Beveridge is a danger to the top 3 riders. And that's why I think we're seeing some sort of reaction going on as Hammer and Burton. This is all about the silver medal. The chase behind for that 1 point. And Hammer and Burton are going for it. Hammer scores 1 point. Which means that Hammer now is going to be firmly in 2nd place with a very slight advantage on Laurie Burton in bronze and medal position. Sprint number 9, one more sprint to go. Beveridge takes 5, Verleau takes 3, Wild takes 2, and Hammer, all importantly, takes 1 point. The overall standings with 1 sprint remaining. Laura Trott leads with 201 points. Sarah Hammer, Laurie Burton are fighting it out for the silver and the bronze. And now Beveridge has moved into 4th. 1 more sprint to go in this women's Omnium. 2 days of competition, 6 different events to decide who is the world champion of the Omnium. Lauren Ellis has 1 more big attack left. This is impressive. Can she take another lap? This would move Lauren Ellis into 8th place overall, and I think she might do it. Is she going to run out of time? Diedrichsen is going with her, because Diedrichsen is in 10th place overall. Lauren Ellis getting close now to the back of the peloton. She may well run out of time because we have 5 laps to go. She is closing in on the back of this peloton. But the big question now is who is going to take the silver and who is going to take the bronze. As long as Laura Trott finishes in this podium, in this peloton, then she is the world champion. Lauren Ellis is getting close. Let's urge her on a little bit. She's very close now to the back of this peloton, which would move her on to 143 points. She'll have taken 3 laps on the field. She may well run out of time. Not far to go. Lauren Ellis is nearly there. Laura Trott will be the world champion as long as she finishes in this peloton safely. But it's about Hammer and it's about Burton as Lauren Ellis desperately tries to shut the gap. Can she do it before this sprint opens up? The tempo is going on. Lauren Ellis, what a fantastic performance. She takes 3 laps in the final points race. Well done to Lauren Ellis. The sprint lap coming up now. This is about the silver and bronze. Laurie Burton and Sarah Hammer. Whoever takes this sprint will be the silver medalist. Burton takes it, Hammer takes 2nd. And that means that Laurie Burton steals the silver medal. But Laura Trott is the world champion of the Omnium. All thumbs up, all smiles. 2 world titles on this London track. Laurie Burton can't believe it. She's been trying for a year now to get on the podium of a major event, and she's done it here in London in the most important one, the World Championships. Laura Trott, look at the average speed of that points race. Nearly 49 kilometres an hour. Laurie Burton, very well done to her in silver medal position for France. Sarah Hammer will take the bronze, but Laura Trott, the golden girl of London, is back here on the boards to take 2 world titles and a bronze medal in the 5 days of competition. The crowd greets Laura Trott. Helena Bunker is in there in the crowd, smiling away up on the screen. But Laura Trott has shown the world that she's ready for Rio. She rode the scratch race for a bit of fun, I think. She goes to greet her family up in the crowd in pretty much the same position as that famous photograph of London 2012, and she greets her mum. There's her dad. I saw him just before the start, making their way into the seats. And of course her fiance Jason Kenny took the World Championship sprint. There is Jason. He's still got the Keirin to go. He won the Keirin. He's got the Keirin to go, but he's also already won the sprint. Laurie Burton, she's all smiles. 24 years of age, a silver medalist now in these World Championships. Trotty's going to do a lap of honour, but Burton has worked really hard over the last few months. She's turned herself from being a team sprinter to an Omnium rider, and she's turned round the fortunes of France here in these World Championships. Laura Trott's getting the Union Jack ready. Trotty wins yet another world title. The smile that makes the nation stand on their feet and cheer. Laura Trott wins with 201 points to Laurie Burton's 183. The results of the Women's Omnium World Championship: Laura Trott wins with 201 points to Laurie Burton's 183. Sarah Hammer will take the bronze medal. Beveridge takes fourth, the defending champion Edmondson in fifth, and Yolene Dora in sixth place. Certainly the ride of this final points race was Lauren Ellis, moving herself from 14th place up into the top 8, taking 3 laps on the field. There's the rest of the top 20 riders in the Omnium overall after the 6 events. There's Laura Trott, thumbs up from her.
For the next 20 minutes. So yeah, just when you think that she's able to celebrate on into the night.
That puts Great Britain firmly at the top of the medal table in these World Championships. 2 world titles and a bronze medal in a few days. Laurie Burton, all smiles from her. We've enjoyed watching her over the last few months in the World Cups, and she thoroughly deserves to be in that silver medal position. As we look across then the velodrome, getting ready for the victory ceremony of the Women's Omnium. We've seen some fantastic action, and some of it's been on board. Here's the best of it. That brought back a few memories. Here's the medal standings with 3 medals left to be presented. Great Britain lead the medal table with 8 medals, 4 golds in total, 1 silver, 3 bronzes. Germany in 2nd place and Australia in 3rd place with 5 medals, 2 golds, 2 silvers and 1 bronze. The next page of the medal table, New Zealand with 1 gold, so have Italy, so have Spain. The Netherlands, Canada, France and Austria are the next nations on this table overall. Netherlands have had a good medal haul with 4 and Canada also with 4. The French, well, maybe they'd have expected more. They won a lot of gold medals in France last year in the World Championships. Here are the other nations who've won 1 medal each. China, Hong Kong and Mexico with a silver each. And Belgium, Cuba, Denmark and Switzerland with a bronze each. Still some more medals to be presented during the rest of the day. Laura Trott then, the latest world champion, having taken the Omnium after 2 days of competition. All smiles, relief, and she will be ready now to build up to Rio. Her mum and dad greet her up there at the top of the track. Well, let's now hear from the Golden Girl herself, double world champion this week, Laura Trott.
Laura, congratulations. That was a really impressive ride today. What was the tactic before that race?
Well, obviously I had a 12-point lead, but that's still less than a lap, and I wanted to be comfortable knowing that everybody had to take a lap on me. So my coach Paul said to me that I should win the first sprint. So once I won that, I was comfortable then, I was settled, and I knew what my tactics were, and just try to win some sprints, I guess, which paid off and it worked, and I'm so happy to finally win.
Yes, definitely. In 2012, that was a golden year for you with the rainbow jersey and the Olympic titles. This year, do you think you can repeat it again in Rio?
Well, I mean, I hope so. I mean, I go into every event wanting to win, so the Olympics is going to be no different. I'm going to go there to win, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to it now.
Yesterday, we've seen you very emotional with Jason to win. I mean, today, you couldn't have dreamed of a better conclusion for the final day of the World Championships.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, obviously, Jason won the sprint, and it was just unbelievable. Right before my elimination race as well, and it kind of spurred me on to do well in that, and then to take out the win today. So I feel much more relaxed today, because the Keirin's obviously after the Omnium, so I can cry as much as I want this time, and it won't matter.
Thank you very much. We wish you all the best for the season. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Laura Trott getting ready now for the victory ceremony of the women's Omnium. Sarah Hammer has already won a world title this week with her Team Pursuit squad. She was so pleased to win that. So it had taken her entire career to win a team world championship. I think Laura's going to enjoy this victory ceremony by the looks of things.
La médaille et le maillot du champion du monde UCI sont remis par un membre du comité directeur de l'UCI.
The medals and UCI World Champions jersey will be presented by the member of the UCI Management Committee, Tom Van Dam.
Médaille de bronze représentant les États-Unis d'Amérique.
Winner of the bronze medal representing the United States of America, Sarah Hammer.
Twice world champion Sarah Hammer takes the bronze medal in the women's Omnium.
médaille d'argent, représentant la France.
Winner of the silver medal, representing France,
Laurie Berton.
A big moment for Laurie Berton of France. Girl from Lyon finally pulls on a World Championship medal. I think that will mean everything to her.
Championne du monde et vainqueur de la médaille d'or de l'Omnium femme des championnats du monde piste UCI, représentant la Grande-Bretagne.
the UCI Track Cycling World Championships Women's Omnium gold medalist and winner of the UCI World Champions jersey, representing Great Britain, Laura Trott.
Laura Trott takes the gold medal in the women's Omnium. She pulls on the rainbow bands. She last won this in Olympic year in 2012. Fiance Jason Kenny, still with his music in. He's got to concentrate on his next event. The world champion is Laura Trott.
The flowers will be presented by the head of major events UK Sport, Esther Britton.
Job done for Laura Trott. She's looked very quick on the track all winter. Laurie Berton, just watch her, she just can't stop looking at that medal.
Mesdames
And
et
now
messieurs,
the national
l'hymne
anthem
national
of
de la
Great Britain.
Grande-Bretagne.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Great Britain.
Vos applaudissements pour nos médaillés.
Ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge all our
Laura
medalists.
Trott watched there by Jason Kenny and by Sir Bradley Wiggins, who will be racing this afternoon. A big moment when you pull on the rainbow bands as a world champion. She's done that on 2 occasions this week already. There's our podium then. Sarah Hammer, Laurie Berton, Laura Trott.
So from the smiling face of Laura Trott to 2 more smiling faces whose voices you have been hearing throughout the afternoon, we want to introduce you to Marty and Dave, our 2 commentators who are standing alongside me here, having done some sterling work. And ladies and gentlemen, throughout this championship, we've been able to introduce Marty and Dave to the audience. So we've been a little bit polite and we've said how wonderful their work has been. But I think it's important because I know how much you've been able to garner from what they've been.
Laura Trott then signing a few autographs. She's still got the flag that we gave to her, Mum gave to her when she went up to the top of the track. It says "Go Trotty" across it. We're getting ready then for the sprint finals, and of course we'll have the men's Keirin, and we'll finish off with the Madison. But let's take a look at how beautiful these championships have been. The women's sprint finals coming up now on the track. More medals to be presented. And here we are with the matches that we're going to see. Some tussles going to happen. Mears against Vogel, and Jung Hong against Tian Chi Chong. The riders getting ready for competition. The crowd are getting ready then to greet these riders onto the track. Anna Mears, the Olympic champion. Christina Vogel, the champion in 2014 and 2015. Now this is important for all sorts of reasons, and of course the build-up to Rio. Neither of these riders wants to be beaten by the other as they stare into each other's faces. The best of three rides as usual to decide who takes the bronze medal. got a medal this week. Vogel has already got a title. Neither of them will take the title this time. Be interesting to see what the tactics are for this ride-off between these two. Mears staying high up on the track. Vogel now deciding to go there to close this off. Vogel now leads down to the Côte d'Azur, the blue around the bottom of the track. They're not hanging around here. There's not much cat and mouse going on as far as standstills and everything are concerned. Now Vogel is going to start the acceleration. She takes Anna Mears to the... Oh, what a move by Anna Mears. She went straight down inside. Vogel then went up the banking to try and get a little bit more speed. Anna Mears almost, I don't know what happened there. She was almost surprised that that worked. And Vogel goes 1-0 up. Vogel, having let Anna Mears drop down the banking, then went high, took a little bit more so she could get some speed. Let's take another look at this. Mears drops down the banking, Vogel goes high, Mears then slows up. But then she had to get the acceleration on, which played into the hands of Christina Vogel. Vogel had the speed to go around the outside, to go 1-0 up in this contest. Christina Vogel in the hot seat then to take this bronze medal. Mears has to take it to a decider in the next round. As we get ready now for these riders to take to the track. An all-Chinese final.
In the white helmet, number 146. Last year's bronze medalist, 2 years ago she took silver, and she was a world team sprint champion in 2015, Jiang Xizhong. And on her outside, wearing the black helmet, her fellow Chinese contestant.
The two riders then up on the track. Lin Junhong in the black helmet. In the white helmet is Tian Chi-shong. Just so that you can tell these two riders apart. Junhong takes the second position on the track. I think we're right in saying this is the first ever all-Chinese final in a World Championship women's sprint. China have a real depth of talent in women's sprinting. I was talking to Xuan Guo in Hong Kong at the Track World Cup, and she wasn't even sure that she would be going to the Olympic Games because these two sprinters are so good. Tian Chi-shong at the front in the white helmet. She was the silver medalist in 2014 and the bronze medalist last year. Lin Junhong now into the slipstream of Tian Chi-shong. Again, the best of 3 rides to decide who is the world champion. And Now the acceleration starts to happen. Qianqi Xiong has the lead. Lin Junlong now trying to get into the slipstream as they go into the final turns. Who's going to take this? It looks like it is Qianqi Xiong is going to go 1-0 up. Always very difficult for the coach in this circumstance. He coaches both these riders. He's got to give them both some advice, or otherwise just say, you two go and fight it out between the two of you. I'll have nothing to do with it. I'll just be there for you if you need me. The result of that first sprint, Qianqi Xiong 1-0 up against Lin Junhong for the gold medal. We get ready now for the men's Keirin finals. This is the race for 7 to 12. Omulchenko, Kalaman, Pervis, Im, Webster and Shershin. Shershin alongside the Azerbaijan rider Omulchenko. There is Webster. This is Pervis. He's lost his world title. Pervis, I think, is a little troubled in these championships. Doesn't look like his normal self, the normal smiles and calm persona that he has. Pervis looking more tense and stressed than normal. The riders making their way out onto the track for this ride. This is the Keirin final, but this is the ride-off for the 7th to 12th places. In this race then, Omulchenko of Azerbaijan, Kelemen of the Czech Republic, Pervis of France, Im of Korea, Webster of New Zealand, Shershin of Russia. again, 8 laps of the track. Here is the start list. From Azerbaijan, Sergei Omnichenko. Czech Republic, Kellerman. France, Pervis, Im, Webster and Shershin. The Russian rider Shershin. Alongside him, the defending champion. Im of Korea. Kellerman of the Czech Republic. Webster of New Zealand. And Omnichenko of Azerbaijan. Straight on to the back of the Derny bike goes Webster of New Zealand. He's the rider in black. The onboard footage straight from the Derny bike. That's the motorbike at the front. Shershin just behind him. Coaching, just stepping out just to give a little bit of instruction to keep the rider on track. Omnichenko is the Azerbaijan rider, leaving a little bit of a gap. Im of Korea and Pervis right at the back. This man dominated the sprints last season in Saint-Quentin on Yvelines in Paris. This time, Pervis is going to walk away with no titles. This is the back of the Derny, looking out at the riders. Webster looking around now and then, just checking what's happening. Still important for these riders in terms of position and points for Rio 2016. Thank you to all of you for your messages at Crossing is where you can message me. It's been nice to keep in touch with you all over the last week while we've been bringing you these World Championships. 4 laps to go. Webster at the front, Shershin in second place. Looking around at Omnichenko. Pervis is hanging a long way back. You can see him starting to make his move. He isn't as dominant as he was last season. Let's hope we see the Frenchman come back, as he's such an exciting sprinter. Just looks heavy-legged at the moment. Webster leads. Pervis is not in the race at all. He's looking down at his bike all the time. Webster now opening up the gas to try and go for the finish line. Shershin is there, the Azerbaijan rider. Omnichenko goes round the top, but it looks like it's going to be a photograph between Omnichenko and Kellerman. Omnichenko says he's got it. And he's absolutely right. He was ahead there of Shershin of Russia, who was in second place. So the 7th place in the Keirin goes to Omnichenko, 8th to Shershin, followed by Im, Webster, Kellerman and Francois Pervis of France. 12th place, having been the champion previously. The result of the final for 7th to 12th place is Omnichenko, Shershin, Im, Webster, Kellerman and Purvis. It's time now to have the final of the men's at Keirin. This is the lineup. Jason Kenny of Great Britain, the new world sprint champion. Joachim Eilers, the kilometre champion. Maximilian Levy, a silver medalist in this event before. Wakimoto of Japan, a Wang, the bronze medalist last year. And Ed Dawkins, the silver medalist of last year. On to the start line. Can Levy win this one? Kimoto, Levy, Jason Kenny. With some bumping and barging in the heats. Dawkins alongside, a Wang getting ready. Concentration on his face. Could he win the world title? He's been trying for many years. He's now in this final. 6 riders lining up, 8 laps on the track to decide the world Keirin champion. An expectant crowd greeting Jason Kenny when he's introduced. This is a gladiatorial battle between 6 riders for the rainbow bands. The Durney bike with Peter, the Durney driver, on the front. A Wang in yellow, Dawkins in the black there, the silver medalist previously, sitting on the wheel of a Wang there in the yellow and black, a little bit like a wasp on the front, waiting to sting the rest of the riders. Dawkins on the wheel, Kenny tucked in on the wheel of Dawkins. Maximilian Levy in here. Is this the German's day? Joachim Eilers is the other German in here with the green socks. Kenny, Eilers, Levy, Wakimoto, Wang and Dawkins fighting it out for the World Keirin Championship. There is a Wang at the front. A Wang followed by Dawkins. Dawkins not having any gloves on, the New Zealander. Behind him is Kenny. Kenny has looked on fantastic form during all the sprints and the Keirin races. Behind him is Levy with the black socks. Eilers with the green socks in the German colours, sitting right at the back. Eilers will try and go for a long sprint here this afternoon for this World Keirin title. A Wang with a little gap now, back to Dawkins. Wakimoto moving up for Japan, right on the shoulder of Kenny. And it is Eilers now who's moving towards the front. He will want to lead this one out. Dawkins doesn't want Eilers to do that. Dawkins dives down and goes on the inside. A Wang right in the middle. He'll want to shove people out of the way. Kenny makes a move on the outside. Kenny looks easy. He's on the wheel now of Eilers. The big question is, has anyone got the firepower to go round Joachim Eilers? Kenny is fading a little bit. He doesn't have it. Eilers has the pace. Kenny doesn't manage to go with him. Eilers now of Germany. Dawkins and a Wang. Oh, it's going to be close on the line. Oh, a photograph for the title. But I think it might be Joachim Eilers. What a sprint, but did Dawkins get there? It might be Dawkins. That is a photograph. I think it's Eilers, but we'll wait for the judges. Joachim Eilers, I think, might have won it by less than the width of a tyre from Ed Dawkins. Jason Kenny's legs just gave out. He had a massive round of sprints. Dawkins, I think, again, might be the silver medalist. We're waiting for the result. I'm pretty sure Eilers is the world champion, and Eilers is the world champion. He's On the result, he takes it ahead of Dawkins. Wang will take the bronze medal. So again, the silver and bronze yet again go to Dawkins and Wang. The German coach is all smiles. Joachim Eilers, 2 world titles. Here's the sprint. Kenny was trying to go, and suddenly just didn't, the legs just didn't have it. Eilers led. Wang goes down to the bottom of the track, trying to squeeze in. Look at him leaning on Dawkins. Throwing their bikes to the line. Joachim Eilers is the world Keirin champion, but look how close it was. Thrilling racing in the sprints. There's the photograph, so it was almost the width of a rim. And a Wang in there, not even a bike length behind. Well, Joachim Eilers still recovering. Dawkins congratulates him. Beaten by a very, very fast man who led out from the start. Joachim Eilers showing us the green socks. That's what it's all about, the green socks. They're like kryptonite to this man. We'll all be buying them next week. It's all in the socks, that's all that matters.
Grüß mal deine Trainer da oben. Ganz oben. Da oben. Da sind sie.
The result of the men's Keirin final. Joachim Eilers of Germany takes the title ahead of Edward Dawkins of New Zealand, and Azul Hasni Wang of Malaysia takes the bronze medal. We'll turn our attention to the women's sprint finals again. This is the ride for the bronze medal between Anna Mears of Australia and Christina Vogel of Germany. A reminder that Anna Mears is 1-0 down to Christina Vogel in this contest. So Mears must win this one to take it to a decider. These two riders then getting underway. These two riders so successful in women's sprinting. Vogel, the double world champion. here. Here's the scene from Anna Mears's camera on the back of her bike. Christina Vogel going up to the top of the track. Mears quite happy to just track her. This is going to be a big fight for Mears to try and get this bronze medal. When Vogel has the edge, it's very, very difficult to beat her. Mears looking for a little bit of height to dive down the bank and to get on the wheel. Vogel already accelerating. Mears trying to get back in contact with the fast-moving German rider as they race towards the finish. Has Mears got enough? And Vogel takes the bronze medal. 11.545, 62.364 kilometers an hour. Anna Mears congratulates Christina Vogel. Vogel, the defending champion, will go away with the bronze. Anna Mears has already taken a medal in these World Championships. Here's the replay then. Vogel accelerating. Mears just didn't seem to have the pace in her legs this time. She's had a long few days of racing. She only had one day off this week. Vogel hits the line. Mears takes fourth in the sprint.
So now we come to this all-Chinese final for the women's sprint championship.
Result of the bronze medal ride. Christina Vogel takes the bronze back to Germany. Anna Mears takes fourth place for Australia.
Coming up to the track first in the white helmet, last year's bronze medalist, or the silver 2 years ago.
Christina Vogel just recovering as we wait now for the Chinese riders to appear on the track. Lin Junhong wears number 143. She's the rider in the black helmet on the right-hand side. Tianqi Shong there in the white helmet. It's 1-0 up. If Tianqi Shong wins this one, then she is the world champion. Leading off then in the black helmet is Lin Junhong. Tianqi Shong is the rider there in the camera shot. Most identical styles, these two riders. Not much difference in terms of shoes and everything else, just the helmets are different. Tianqi Shong has the little short socks on inside those shoes. Everything changing now. It used to be we had these long overshoes on many riders. Now as much skin exposed in the sprints as possible. Both the riders look to be wearing the long mitts to protect their hands. In fact, wearing identical mitts. A little bit of manoeuvring going on right now between these riders. On board the bike of Lin Junhong, who has to win this one to take it to a decider. acceleration starts to happen. In the black helmet is Lin Junghong, accelerating now. In the white helmet is Tianqi Zhong, and it is Tianqi Zhong who has the lead in this contest, and she is going to be the world champion. Tianqi Zhong is the world sprint champion. The sprint coaches are happy from China. Tianqi Zhong goes 2-0 in the World Sprint Championship. Gold to Tianqi Zhong. She didn't really have much of a contest against Lin Junghong then. Once she accelerated, there really was no contest. Tianqi Zhong there in the white helmet. 2-0. Lin Junghong takes the silver. Christina Vogel will take the bronze medal. The appreciative crowd congratulating Tianqi Zhong. All smiles from the two Chinese riders. The first time we've had an all-Chinese final in the women's sprint. And they're going to enjoy this as they just take their lap of honour around the track. It's quite hard to do that, no-handed, side by side. They're asking for a little bit of appreciation from the crowd in the back straight. Fantastic racing from these two Chinese riders. They have been emerging more and more over the last 4 years in terms of world cycling. Gold and silver to China in the women's sprint. Well, today the coach doesn't have to smash his hand on the table. He can go home from London with the silver medal in the team sprint, the gold medal in the women's sprint, and a broken hand with a cast that says only for gold. Getting ready now for the victory ceremony of the men's Keirin. And we're here now from the winner, Joachim Eilers.
Joachim, congratulations. This is your third medal, your second title, but that one was really, really hard fought. That was really a difficult one.
Yeah, it's impressive. I rode 2 laps in the front and nobody was able to catch me. It's absolutely crazy, and I think it's just a dream. You have to wake me up so that I realize, but unbelievable.
This week, German sprinters were very successful. This is a strong tradition in your country.
Yes, absolutely, and it's wonderful to have the European Championships next year in Germany, so it's a good advertising. It's the right word.
For sure. And you must feel very confident, feeling very good ahead of the Rio Olympics.
Yeah, absolutely. I won 2 World Cups and now the World Championship. I'm the World Cup leader, and I hope to the Olympics I'm able to get a medal too.
We've seen 3 continents on this podium, Europe, Oceania and Asia. That's also very good news to see the cycling spreading across the continent.
Yes, there are so many riders who are really good, and everyone or many people, riders can win. It's very close together.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you.
Joachim Eilers, the new Keirin world champion.
Mesdames et messieurs, cérémonie protocolaire des championnats du monde piste UCI Keirin homme.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The victory
medal
ceremony of the
UCI
men's
Track
Keirin.
Cycling World Championships Men's Keirin.
Les médailles et le maillot de champion du monde UCI sont remis par le président de l'UCI.
The medals and the UCI World Champions jersey will be presented by the president of the UCI, Brian Cookson, OBE.
Médaille de bronze représentant la Malaisie.
Winner of the bronze medal, representing Malaysia, Azizawan.
Aziz Awang is the bronze medalist in the World Keirin Championship.
Médaille d'argent représentant la Nouvelle-Zélande.
Winner of the silver medal, representing New Zealand, Edward Dawkins.
Ed Dawkins on the silver medal position on the podium.
Champion du monde et vainqueur de la médaille d'or lors du Keirin homme des championnats du monde piste UCI, représentant l'Allemagne.
The UCI Track Cycling World Championships Men's Keirin gold medalist and winner of the UCI World Champions jersey, representing Germany, Joachim Eilers.
Joachim Eilers of Germany is the world champion of the Keirin.
Les fleurs sont remises par le directeur général de Lee Valley VeloPark.
The flowers will be presented
The
by
man with the
general
green
manager
socks
of
is the
Lee
world
Valley
champion.
VeloPark, Jeremy Lawfer.
Mesdames et messieurs, l'hymne
And now
national
the national
de
anthem
l'Allemagne.
of Germany.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Germany.
Vos applaudissements pour nos médaillés.
Ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge all our medalists.
The gold medalist, Joachim Eilers of Germany. Double world titles for him. Dawkins again takes the silver, and Wang takes the bronze. All smiles on the podium, our medal winners. Joachim Eilers then will wander across and he will sign the rainbow jerseys. He's shaking his head. I don't think he can believe he's won another title.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have just...
He probably doesn't need to sign them again. He's already done it once. He's asking, do I need to sign this? No, he's already won a jersey, so he's already signed it.
We call not the Mexican wave, but the Madison wave. Yes, we are going to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, before we say goodbye and bring the curtain down on these championships, to get out of your
Eilers
seats
wandering
and
through to the press. Everyone will do their interviews with him.
you have ever performed in
And before we get ready for the men's Madison, let's enjoy a little bit more of what these championships have been about.
of the back straight.
Mark Cavendish congratulating Laura Trott after her victory. She's warmed down now, her competition is over. In the meantime, we're about to bring you the final race of this year's World Championships. This is the men's Madison, 200 laps of the track, 10 sprints along the way. It's always a thrilling race, and here is the start list. 16 nations will take to the start. There's a lot of interest in here in this men's Madison.
Traditional in the last many years, actually, that the final event of the championships is the two-man team event.
These two men are on the track to the delight of the British crowd. Wiggins and Cavendish are paired. They won the world title in 2008 in Manchester. Should be an interesting race with these two in it. But of course, some fantastic riders paired. Now the Madison is all about points, but it's all about laps taken as well. So if one team ends up one lap ahead, then they are the World Madison champions. If everyone finishes on the same number of laps, then the winner will be on points. And that's where the sprints come in. But there are some fantastic riders in here, there really are. Cameron Mayer of Australia, the world champion with Lee Howard in 2011. Morgan Niesky is in here, he's the defending champion. Niesky was paired with Cockard, he's now paired with Benjamin Thomas at this time. Albert Torres is in here, he was the world champion in 2014. Morgan Niesky also won this back in 2013 as well. The Belgian team is very, very strong. Here's the French pairing of Niesky and Benjamin Thomas. The French get each other going. Let's wish each other the best of luck. Cavendish on the left, Wiggins on the right-hand side. Cavendish has been the World Madison champion on 2 occasions. The first one is Madison world title. It was his first ever world title back in 2005 in Los Angeles. And he was paired with Rob Hales, who's sitting about 10 meters from me right now, off to my left-hand side. He's commentating on this. He's looking forward to seeing how they go. Cavendish right up there next to those kids, so I don't think can quite believe that they are that close to a 26-time winner of Tour de France stages. Cavendish, of course, has won 3 points jerseys in different tours, the Tour de France, the Vuelta a España, Giro d'Italia. Bradley Wiggins, of course, has won the Tour de France. He's the world hour record holder. He's psyching himself up here in front of a home crowd. These two guys want to deliver. there's the Colombian, and of course Gaviria is now the world champion of the Omnium ×2 this year and last year, and we're underway. So just keep an eye on the action. Just to update you, the race is going around the bottom of the track, and the riders switch each other in and out of the action depending on when they decide to, based on hand-sling. So they'll hand-sling their pairing into the action. They'll try and time it so that they swap over straight away just before one of the sprints, but the French have gone immediately on the attack. They've clearly decided, let's try and get all the other riders in trouble. Morgan Niski is the Frenchman who is on the attack. He's gone straight out with his partner Benjamin Thomas, who of course was the rider who crashed in the Omnium yesterday just before the finish in what was a thrilling conclusion to the men's Omnium. But Niski already is about a quarter of a lap up, and if he takes a lap, he's automatically in the lead. Niski, who rides for Team Rally. The New Zealand pairing at the front, Peter Bulling and Luc Mudgway. France still have around about almost half a lap's advantage on the rest of the field. They put everybody else under a bit of pressure here. And this is Benjamin Thomas trying to take the lap on the rest of the field. Throws Niski into the action. Our first sprint will come up with 180 laps to go. It's around about an hour of racing, this Madison. And at the front then, it is New Zealand, followed immediately by the German squad and the Colombian team as well. 194 laps to go. The French obviously motivated by that medal of Laurie Burton. There goes Niski. He's wearing the black number. If you're trying to pick out the different riders, one rider wears a black number, one rider wears a red one. That's a perfect shot there of Ben Thomas. You can see rider number 1 and red, and France take a lap. All the other teams now are on -1 lap, which means the points aren't taken into consideration. It's all about the team that are on the most laps so far, and France are now 1-0 up to everyone else. The Swiss team near the front, Claudio Imhoff and Thierry Scher. Imhoff has already won a medal in these championships on day 1 of competition. You can tweet me during this racing if you would like to, if you're trying to understand what is going on, or if you'd just like to ask me anything. And it's Andreas Graf who is near the front for Austria. Wearing number 12, the Austrian team. Graf slings Andreas Müller into the action. And the crowd all around this velodrome just trying to watch what's going on. It's kind of mesmerising watching Madison like this, as we see Gaviria now going on the attack for Colombia. A big attack goes on, and the Spanish team immediately looking to counter-attack, and that is Sebastian Mora and Alberto Torres. Torres has been a world champion in 2014 and a silver medalist in 2013. At the front then, in the colours of Italy, and that is Liam Bartazzo. Gaviria still riding away, and his teammate now thrown into the action, that is Jordan Parra. The pace is relentless right now. It has been flat out since the start of the race. Jordan Parra with around about a quarter of a lap's lead on the rest of the peloton. Claudio Imhoff, a bronze medalist in the European Championships, on the track he can hurt himself a lot. I've seen him really suffer in a bike race before. Imhoff looking good as he picks up the cadence. We're coming up towards the first sprint of this Madison contest. The Danish squad is Dion Bukkemon and Wim Strottinger. Gaviria now is getting close to taking a lap on the rest of the field. Imhoff and his partner trying to get across up towards the front. Wearing number 8 is Cameron Mayer. Cameron Mayer of Australia, who of course has won this world title before in 2011. I'm just looking to see where Gaviria is with his teammate Para. They are getting close to a lap here. I think it would be dangerous to let them take a lap on the rest of the field. The Swiss are trying to get across. The Australians are involved in the mix as well. And our first sprint of the night has been taken by Colombia. Sprint number 1, Colombia take 5, Switzerland 3, Netherlands 2, Denmark take 1 point. The Colombian team then still on the attack. Switzerland are going with them. They're getting pretty close to taking a lap on the rest of the field. There's the standings. France still at the top of the leaderboard, 1 lap ahead of Colombia in second place, and that's purely on points. So laps count first, points count second. Gaviria and his teammates are about to take a lap now on the field with Imhoff and the other Swiss rider, Thierry Scher. Imhoff now being thrown into the action. And it's taken them a while, but they can see the peloton now just in front of them. And they're working hard to clinch at this lap, which would put them equal on laps with France. And then it would be that Colombia would be the leaders because they have 5 points so far in the sprints. Gaviria now rides for Ethics Quick Step as he accelerates, and he is almost there. There's the shot of Gaviria wearing number 11 with the red number on his back. Teammate Thierry Scher and Imhoff throw each other into the action, and 1 lap is taken, and that means that Colombia now go to the top of the leaderboard with Switzerland in second and France in third place. Switzerland and Colombia gain a lap on the rest of the opposition. And these are the overall standings after 1 sprint. Colombia lead with 5 points, Switzerland 3, France with no points, but they're 1 lap ahead, and the Dutch pairing have got 2 laps. Wiggins and Cavendish throwing each other into the action. A bit of a chat between them as they changed over at that point. Going many years ago when Cavendish and Wiggins were riding the 6 days together. And I went to watch the Ghent 6 day. If you've ever been to a 6 day, you'll know exactly what it's like. The Madison that we're watching now is the mainstay of the 6 day discipline. The chase every night is a Madison, and the final chase of the 6 day is a Madison contest. And I went to the 6 day, and I was invited to go down and chat to Cavendish and Wiggins in their cabin when they were both riding for the T-Mobile team many years ago, right at the start of their careers. Neither had won the jerseys of the Tour de France. Cavendish, of course, has taken green, and Wiggins has taken the yellow jersey into Paris. They were both carving out their careers on the track. Amazing to see them now, many years later, riding here on the boards of the London Velodrome, as Wiggins has won the Tour. Cavendish, one of the most successful riders of his generation, with 26 stage wins of the Tour de France. Many stage wins in the Giro d'Italia, the Vuelta a España, the points jerseys, the World Road Race title. and add to that double Madison world champion as well. There is Cavendish wearing number 4. This is on board with Mark Cavendish, with Elia Viviani right on his wheel. He seems to stick to each other like glue right now. Viviani just missed out on the Omnium last night. We're getting close to the next sprint, and the rider on the front is Cavendish going for the sprint. Viviani, I think, after last night, is going to make sure that Britain don't win any points, and he throws Bertazzo in a bit messy there as Wiggins goes round. He'll score 3rd place, but Italy take the points. Behind them, the Ukraine, and Wiggins now is trying to go on the attack, and immediately everyone is a bit concerned. Wiggins puts in a massive turn. Wiggins absolutely flat out now. A big turn from Bradley Wiggins, the world hour record holder, as he looks around to see what damage he's doing, and the answer is he's splitting the race up. Italy take 5 points in sprint number 2, Ukraine take 3, Britain take 2, Australia take 1 point. Well, there is a little bit of concern in this group right now. Here's the standings after sprint number 2. Colombia with 5, Switzerland 4, France with 0. But they're 1 lap ahead of all the rest of the field. Wiggins really stretched the race out then. 157 laps of racing to go. I was talking to Cameron Meyer of Australia yesterday. He was looking forward to riding this race with Callum Scottson. Said he hadn't ridden a Madison World Championship for a long time. Of course, he is a teammate of Mark Cavendish. We're on board here. Bradley Wiggins' his bike, looking back at the rest of the field. But he said he hasn't ridden a Madison World Championship for a long time, but he was certainly looking forward to it. There's a lot of banter between him and Cavendish in the hotel lobby about this Madison competition. So Cameron Meyer looking to try and win another title. He, of course, won this with Lee Howard in 2010 in Ballarat and 2011 in Appledorn. In fact, interestingly, if you look back, 2010, it was Lee Howard and Cameron Meyer. And they actually beat Morgan Niesky, who was in the silver medal position. Cameron Meyer, when you look back at his history in this event, 2 golds, 1 silver and 1 bronze. It's probably the most, perhaps the most successful rider in this field in terms of Madisons. Certainly a world championship level, maybe not in 6 days, of course, but certainly in terms of recent years world championship in this field. Cameron Meyer is very strong indeed in his palmares as Gaviria decides to go on to the attack now. Con Kerwin, thanks for your message. The Dutch squad are Dion Boekebaum and Wim Strottinger. Sitting up there towards the front, sitting just behind Bradley Wiggins. Barrier, do the handslings offer some acceleration? If they decide to offer some acceleration, then they certainly will. Mostly it's a little bit, oh, there's a crash, and it's Gaviria who's hit the deck. Fernando Gaviria hits the deck there for Colombia. And now his partner's got to just stay in the action. So his partner will be just stay in for now. What happened here? Let's just take a little look. Oh, Gaviria ran into the back of the Belgian pairing as they were doing their hand sling. And Fernando Gaviria is getting back into the race. The world champion of the Omnium last night in that thrilling contest. Just looked like he wasn't quite paying attention. He ran into the back of the handsling. Thank you for your messages. And McCrossan, if you would like to tweet me during this at Madison. Who do you think might win? Other pairings we haven't mentioned yet. The Germans are Kirsten Thiele and Dominik Weinstein. The Czech Republic, Martin Blaha and Wojciech Czeki. Blaha won this in 2000, there was a silver medalist in 2011. And this pairing were the silver in 2014 in Cali. Up at the front end, Wiggins is looking interested, so are the Danish pairing. Rasmussen and Morkov, a very, very good pairing in terms of 6 days. And there is the face of Benjamin Thomas of France as we take a look at him. Behind him is Bertazzo in the colours of Italy. And now the next sprint comes up and Wiggins throws Cavendish into the action to the delight of the crowd. Cavendish going round the outside to pick up some points. And that was very simple for the Max missile. Cavendish and Wiggins looking good. Second across the line was the Frenchman Morgan Niski for France. So France pick up some points. That's going to help them in the overall standings because remember, they are 1 lap ahead. Sprint 3. Great Britain take 5. France take 3. Let's take a look at the overall standings. Colombia are the leaders with a lap taken, also Switzerland and France, and now the points count. So Great Britain are in 4th, but they are 1 lap down. All the other squads are 1 lap down as well. Critical now for some nations to take a lap to try and get into the medals, because right now, if things stayed like this, no other teams took a lap, Colombia, Switzerland and France would be the gold, silver and bronze medalists. Now Spain going on the attack, and these riders in this Spanish pairing are very strong indeed. Albert Torres, the world champion in 2014 and the silver medalist in 2013, with Sebastian Mora. The Dutch squad trying to close the gap on the Spaniards. The Dutch squad, we just mentioned them a moment ago. That is Boekebom and Strottinger. 134 laps to go. This race has been absolutely relentless from the start, and the Spaniards now joining up with the Dutch squad at the front, and it is Wim Strottinger who joins up at the front of the race. Spain and the Netherlands going on the attack. The Germans don't look too happy with that attack. They're starting to chase this one down. They're covering this distance very, very fast indeed. It will be about an hour of racing, maybe a bit less than that. The two riders at the front, number 14 there is Dion Boekebom. The Spanish team want to continue with the attack. The Italians also look interested with Elia Viviani. Cavendish is on his wheel. They're opening up a bit of an advantage. Very quick in here. The Australians also looking keen with Cameron Meyer racing across. So Cavendish and Wiggins. Wiggins looks across to see what sort of damage they are doing on the rest of the field. The answer is it's lined out, but they're not really getting an advantage. The Germans trying to press on with this. Wiggins looking around to see where the gaps are. So experienced on the 6-day scene. Wiggins, his late father was a very good 6-day rider. Things calm down a little bit with 127 laps to go. We're 7 laps from the next sprint of the day. If you've just joined us then, this is the situation. Colombia leads, Switzerland in second place, France in third. They are 1 lap ahead of the rest of the field. Great Britain are in fourth place, 1 lap down on 7 points. Italy are in fifth, Ukraine in sixth, Belgium, Denmark, the Netherlands are the next pairings in this Madison. If you're trying to work out what's going on, the Madison is ridden in pairs. The race is going on at the bottom of the track. The pairing of each rider resting at the top of the track until they are slung into the action. The winning team are the team who are ahead on laps. And then if every team is equal on laps, then the points are taken into account. New Zealand then making another move as they share the pace making. And it's Luke Muchway who is at the front of the race for New Zealand. Wiggins is with him. Wiggins can't really go anywhere. Everyone following him. So Wiggins trying to use his speed as he's looking to just pick points up and then hopefully later on nick a lap to take this race. They're timing this to absolute perfection. Cavendish on the inside, going for the sprint. He looks fast and it looks easy. He takes more points. Wiggins and Cavendish have got their tempo as far as the handslings are concerned. Absolutely nailed this afternoon. But they haven't taken a lap yet. Confirmation, Great Britain take 5, France take 3, Belgium take 2, and 1 to Germany, which will change the standings. The overall standings after 4 sprints, France lead. That's on points, 6 points to 5 of Colombia, 4 of Switzerland, 12 to Great Britain, but they are 1 lap behind. The attack then of the Australian pairing. And it's the very talented Aussie Cameron Meyer who goes to the front. As I've mentioned previously, the best Palmares, I think, in this peloton as far as World Championship Madisons are concerned. The attack calms down. Meyer, a road teammate of Mark Cavendish, both from the Dimension Data for Quebecer team. ...114 laps to go. The mesmerising, colourful peloton making their way around the track. Big attack from Wiggins, trying to go across to the Spanish squad. Torres and Mora are leading. But now Wiggins is trying to use this as the opportunity to take the lap on the rest of the field. The Colombians of Gaviria. Wiggins looking around, everyone is flat out chasing down the Tour de France winner and world record holder. Every time they move, everyone tracks them. It's going to be very unlikely that they're going to be able to get away to take a lap on the rest of the field. No one is letting them go at all. Ten laps to go to the next sprint. The Australian pairing, Callum Scottson with the red number on, goes to the front of the race. Brian Travis, anyone better than Wiggo and Cav on this track together? It's an interesting question. I think Cameron Meyer has the best Palmares in this event right now, the Australian rider, but there's no doubt in terms of world level cycling that to get a Tour de France winner and a green jersey winner of the Tour de France and a World Road Race champion paired together in a World Championship Madison is pretty fantastic to see. Madison World Championship was first held in 1995 in the World Championships in Bogota. It was won by Silvio Martinello and Marco Villa. The Italian pairing beating the Argentinian riders Keirin and Risi and Beshart were the bronze medalists. Other riders who've won this, Jonah Lanares and also Franco Marvuli, Bruno Risi, Cavendish and Hales. On board, 105 laps to go. There's Benjamin Thomas of France, right in the camera. Spain go again. They'll keep trying until someone lets them go. Immediate reaction from Belgium and the Belgian pairing of Kenny de Ketelaere and Marina de Paul. De Ketelaere has been world champion in 2012, and this is a big attack now. Wiggins trying to use this as a springboard, everyone able to go with it. The gap opens up a little bit. No one is prepared to let Wiggins and Cavendish go, which is not a surprise, is it? 101 laps to go. The next sprint is coming up. And it's de Ketelaere and Moreno de Paul who are at the front of the race. It is de Paul who threw his partner into the action. Wiggins takes some more points, but it's not going to help them in terms of the medals. They have to take a lap. This race is flat out right now. 100 laps to go. Sprint number 5, midway point. Cavendish and Wiggins take 5. Belgium take 3. Spain 2. New Zealand 1. But the standings look like this. 3 teams have taken a lap. They are in the medal positions. France, Colombia, Switzerland. If Britain took a lap, they would go immediately to the top of the leaderboard. At the front of the peloton then, the New Zealand pairing, that is Peter Bulling and Luke Mudgeway. On the front of the race, the Austrian team. The German pairing throwing each other into the action. So we're inside the midway point. That's the onboard camera of Mark Cavendish looking back at the Swiss team. Imhoff and Scheer, that's Terry Scheer. Concentrating hard here. French team at the front. Gaviria's up at the top of the track. Gaviria's already fallen off in this race. As the riders get tired, the gaps will start to open. Wiggins swings up. The Swiss team go to the bottom of the track. The French squad are there. New Zealand squad are on the front of the race yet again. Things have calmed down here in this World Championship Madison. So those initial skirmishes at the beginning of the race have meant that France, Colombia and Switzerland are sitting very happy right now. They are the gold, silver and bronze medalists, so they're not going to let anyone go anywhere. The French lap was planned. They went out immediately. The Colombia and Swiss one was more opportune. But right now, these teams are going for the medals. Doesn't matter that Great Britain have 17 points. Doesn't matter Belgium have 7, which is bigger than the total of France, who lead. It's all down to the number of laps. Tempo just very, very steady. The handsling's going on. We're about 7 laps from the next sprint. The Spanish team just keeping the tempo high. .84 laps to go in this men's Madison World Championship. The standings right now, France are the leaders with 6 points, Colombia with 5, Switzerland with 4, and they are 1 lap ahead of all of the rest of the riders in the field. Madison Racing, all about laps. The teams who finish on the most laps are the winners, and then the points are taken into consideration if there are teams tied on the number of laps. The Czech Republic team go to the front. That is Martin Blaha and Wojtek Hadczeki. The Italian pairing of Liam Battazzo. Battazzo, you can tell, with a luminous kind of lead yellow helmet, throwing Viviani into the action. And now they go flat out. Viviani, winner of a stage of the Dubai Tour this season. He's won stages of the Tour of Britain. He's won World Championship medals. He takes the points. France score as well. So does Switzerland. So that's going to help the overall total. Now Colombia jump across onto that trio. Sprint 6 of 10. Italy take 5. France take 3. Switzerland 2. Czech Republic 1. A massive attack here from Gaviria of Colombia, putting everyone else into some trouble, and Gaviria's putting everyone on the back foot. The standings after sprint number 6. France lead, Switzerland 2nd, Colombia 3rd, and Great Britain are 1 lap down with all the rest of the teams, but they have the highest points total. But right now, Great Britain are having some problems because there's a quartet sneaked off the front. Yet again, a furious sprint going on. The Czech Republic, France, Colombia, also Switzerland. With a group of about 8 riders going clear. And Mark Cavendish senses the danger and absolutely flies across to the leading group. What a turn of pace. Cavendish makes it onto the back of the group, saves his team. What is the plan for all the other squads? The Australian team, can they do something? They're down the standings, they haven't scored any points yet. That gives me the sense that they're going to go for a lap sometime. The attack goes, and it goes from Australia. So we were right, they were going to go and try and take a lap, and this is the big move from the Australian pairing. Cameron Meyer now goes on the attack, stretches the race out. World champion twice. He's also taken a silver and a bronze in these championships with Lee Howard. And Cameron Meyer is putting everyone onto the ropes, everyone looking around at each other to see who can chase. And he really is motoring now, this Australian pairing, trying to put themselves into the top 4. And it is now the pairing of Australia with Cameron Meyer and Callum Scotson. Callum Scotson, that fantastic team pursuiter, who now makes the move. They are about a half a lap up now on the rest of the field. They are absolutely motoring. The tempo's gone out the front of the peloton. The Australian team, they can almost see the group on the other side of the track. It is a big move by Callum Scotson, turning in a massive turn here. He's going to throw Cameron Meyer with a huge handsling into the action. Meyer with a big cadence now. This is a big move by the Australian team. Very cool, calm and collected, aren't they? On the other side of the track, they can see the peloton. And right now, it is Cameron Meyer throwing Callum Scotson into the action. As they go now to try and take the lap, they're almost there. They have to catch the main bulk of the peloton. They can't just catch the back of the group, they have to catch the entire field. They have to catch what the commissaires deem to be the front of the race. So they must catch the main bulk of riders, the biggest number of riders on the track. They're not there yet, they're almost there. There's a big splits all over the place in this peloton, and at the front it's Austria. The Australians are desperately trying to work their way through and hope that this pace settles down a little bit. They're almost there. The biggest bunch of riders, as far as the commissaires are concerned, the commissaires at the front of in terms of the front of the race, is the group led by Spain, which is still about a half a lap ahead of the Australian team. The Australians are coming in to take the points this time, and they'll hope that things calm down after this sprint at 61 laps. A massive handsling, and it is the red-numbered Callum Scotson who goes into the action. Cameron Meyer, a teammate of Mark Cavendish in the Dimension Data team, the main bulk of riders at the front. Real big chase going on now. The result of that sprint: Australia took 5, Belgium took 3, Spain took 2, 1 point to Austria, but still Australia have not taken the lap on the rest of the field. They have got to work now to get themselves up to the race, and Germany are helping them out a little bit. The German pairing is Kirsten Thiele and Dominic Weinstein. They're still about a half a lap away. Viviani, Weinstein and the rest of the riders, Australia are nearly there. They are pretty close. Britain go on the attack as the Aussies try to get on the back of the race, and it is Wiggins who's stretching this out. This is a furious turn. Almost, the Australian rider almost hit the back of the Germans as they went for the lap. And this race is absolutely stretched all over the boards of London. Cameron Meyer now coming in to swap over the red-numbered teammate of Australia. Is Callum Scotson. They're still almost there. The pace has calmed down. They've just got to bide their time, and then the lap will be taken by the two Australians, which will put them into the bronze medal position in this race. Equal on points with Colombia. They are now about to catch the main bulk of the race, and they do. Australia now lap the field. Australia lap the field, and they're now equal on laps with France, Switzerland and Colombia. Confirmation on the screen: Australia gained the lap. confirmation after sprint number 7 that France leads, Switzerland are second, Australia bronze, with tied with Colombia. As now Great Britain try and make another move. They need a lap. If they took a lap, they'd be top of the leaderboard. But France immediately going with them. If France took the lap with them, it's not a good combination. Wiggins are really unhappy. And Great Britain are pretty much being, as far as Wiggins is concerned, they're being marked out of it. The French aren't going to let them go anywhere, neither are the Italians. Bit of a conversation going on between Wiggins and Cavendish as things calm down a little bit. 48 laps to go, time is running out. Just to update you then, we have sprints every 20 laps. France are the leaders after that initial lap being taken by Niski and Thomas. Switzerland are second. Australia are third, equal on points with Colombia. So the points are telling for those 4 teams. Things have calmed down at the front yet again. This is on board with Bradley Wiggins, looking at the second place team of Switzerland. Thank you for any of your tweets. @Macrosson is where you can join me. 43 laps to go, not many sprints left, so teams that want to win this Madison title have to take a lap on the rest of the field. One lap to go to the next sprint. Switzerland are going for this, so are Australia. This is about the medals now, because Switzerland and Australia are 1 point between them. The Australians have recovered from that lap taken, but Switzerland score, Australia second, and France are in third in that sprint. So Switzerland getting close to the gold medal position. Good for Australia though. That means they will have a little bit of daylight between them and Australia with 40 laps to go. Wiggins is getting a bit frustrated at the front of this race now. Sprint number 8, Switzerland with 5 points, Australia 3, France 2, Great Britain with 1. So we're just looking at the last few sprints. This is the standings. France leads, Switzerland second, tied on points. Australia are in the bronze medal position. The expertise of Cameron Meyer is absolutely telling in this race. So Australia could still win the gold as Spain now go on the attack with Austria in the red and white, France in the blue, and Belgium in the turquoise colours. Spain, the 2 riders at the front in the red and yellow, Sebastian Mora and Albert Torres, world champion in 2014, silver medalist in 2013. The Austrians are up the front, but the 4 teams we need to keep an eye on: France, Switzerland, Australia and Colombia. Another big attack, but it's really very difficult to try and open up a gap. Wiggins decides to give this some throttle, and Let's see whether he can break the will of the rest of the riders. He gets Cavendish. Cavendish puts in a big turn, and the Spanish team are going with them. If Britain take this lap, then they will be at the top of the leaderboard. Belgium unable to go with a move. Cavendish and the Spanish rider trying to go for this one. Cavendish looking to see where Wiggins is. They do short turns to try and stir this up a little bit. The Dutch team trying to chase, but Cavendish and the Spaniard have got away, and it is Sebastian Moro who's a good guy to have with him. Wiggins now will do a massive turn. This is the moment where Britain are trying to win the gold medal, and the Spanish are going with them. The Swiss are trying to chase this one down, and Wiggins is trying to put in a huge turn to bring this gold medal home for Great Britain. He is absolutely flying, Wiggins. An incredible performance from Bradley Wiggins. He gets a turn from the Spaniard. The French are trying to chase this one down. The crowd are going absolutely wild in this arena. Wiggins has finally broken the will of the rest of the riders. Going with him is, in red, is Torres. A great rider to have with him because Torres has won a world title before. Cavendish looking to try and dominate now this sprint. Now the Australians are trying to chase this one down. Cavendish puts in a massive turn as he looks around for the Spanish rider to do his change. The Australians are ripping this one up in the peloton. What a fantastic chase that's going on now on the far side of the track. The Spanish and the Brits are going to try and win this one. The Australians looking round for a little bit of help. The Brits are now 1.5 a lap ahead as Cavendish throws Wiggins into the action. Wiggins is going to do the biggest turn of his life. The Spaniards trying to stay with it. Wiggins and the Spaniards are going for this lap now. Wiggins puts in a massive turn. The world hour record holder trying to win this world championship. Now the Spaniards will give Wiggins a little bit of a turn. They're unable to, as they just gave himself a little bit of a rest. They are half a lap up. The Colombians now are going for this. Gaviria and Parra are trying to stay in the medal positions. Wiggins now puts in another turn. Cavendish is thrown into the action. They are now almost in the same straight with 22 laps of racing to go. The Spaniards will also benefit here and move up into the medals. Cavendish is going for the sprint. They can see the riders on the other side of the track. What an incredible moment in this World Championship, Madison. The crowd are going absolutely mental in this arena right now. And right now the attacks are going on at the front of the peloton. The French are there. Cavendish and also Torres going for this one. They pick up the sprint. The Colombians trying to get some momentum. Now Wiggins goes for it. If he can take the lap, they will be at the top of the leaderboard and they will be in the rainbow jerseys with only 19 laps to go. The Spaniards are going. Wiggins is giving this as much momentum as he possibly can. The change goes on. They have to catch the main bit of this peloton. What an incredible race in this Madison. The Spaniards now to give Wiggins a massive turn. They can see him in front of them. They are almost going to catch. The Australians are on the front of the peloton trying to hold them off. Cavendish now is slung into the action. He's been double world champion in the Madison. Mark Cavendish is about to lap the field with Sir Bradley Wiggins. And now Great Britain are going to take a lap and they go to the top of the standings in the World Championship, Madison. What an incredible move. Great Britain take the lap with 16 laps to go. Spain and Great Britain take the lap on the field. Wow, the arena goes absolutely wild. Now they've just got to try and recover and sit in there with 15 laps of racing to go. This is an absolutely incredible atmosphere. The standings after 9 sprints. Great Britain with 21 points. France with 13. Switzerland with 11. Australia are down in 5th place now. Now a big attack goes on. and the riders are all staying very close to each other. The British pairing of Wiggins and Cavendish. They last won the world title in 2008. They have timed this to absolute perfection. They mustn't lose a lap now. They've got, oh, a big crash! A huge crash. And it is Mark Cavendish who hits the deck. Cavendish has crashed. He gets taken out, and Wiggins is looking for him. This is incredible. Wiggins now has to do this all on his own. Cavendish is trying to get back in the action. Wiggins has to stay in the string of riders. Cavendish was taken out. Wiggins has just got to sit in there. He's just got to stay here. Wiggins must be absolutely screaming in pain right now. He's just got to stay in there. What drama in this World Championship, Madison. They're all going to attack them now. Cavendish hit the deck so hard. He's looking round, he's recovered, and he now comes into the action yet again. Wiggins throws him in. Cavendish is back in there. What an incredible Madison bike race. Belgium are trying to go clear. They have 10 points. They're trying to take a lap. There are 8 laps to go in this Madison. Get your breath back if you possibly can. 8 laps of racing to go. Belgium are the leaders in the turquoise. They are trying to take a lap. They've got 10 points. This would put them up into 4th place. The standings right now with 7 laps to go. Great Britain lead with 21 points. France are in silver with 13. Switzerland with 11 points. You couldn't have a race with Mark Cavendish without a little bit of drama, could you? What do you think of this? Belgium now trying to take a lap on the rest of the field. It won't really matter. It's a bit academic as far as the medals are concerned. It would help them out a little bit. Belgium would move up to, I think, to the silver medal position. Belgium coming up to try and take a lap with 4 laps to go. Belgium are there. They are going to move themselves up with a chance of taking one of the medals. France now at the front. Australia are in 5th place, so still there is an important sprint to go on. There are 4 laps of racing to go. Wiggins and Cavendish are going to bring home a dream rainbow jersey on the last day of these World Championships, despite a massive crash for Mark Cavendish. On the front then, it is the Spanish squad. The Belgians are about to take a lap. They are going to lap the field. The Australians are looking for this one. Cavendish is absolutely flat out. This is the final lap of this Madison. I cannot believe what this has been like. We are looking to see where the sprint is going to happen. It's going to be the Dutchman who's going to take the final sprint, I think, of the night. But it's going to come down to the medals between Australia and between the French. But the British pairing of Mark Cavendish and Bradley Wiggins are the world champions. What an incredible finish. Cavendish and Wiggins win the world title despite a huge crash for Mark Cavendish. Wiggins and Cavendish bring the world title home. Wiggins, look at that. What an emotional and incredible finish to a fantastic 5 days of racing on this track. That's what it's all about. That's bike racing for you. I cannot believe what that race was like. The whole stadium of 6,000 people are on their feet. Wiggins is saying to Cavendish, what did you do? They last won the world title in 2008 in Manchester, but they will wear the rainbow bags. They will stand on the final podium of the day. That was absolutely brilliant. I cannot, no matter what nation you're from, that was thrilling bike racing. What a day. Wiggins goes into the crowd as usual, says hi to Kath, says hello to the kids. I think France will be in the silver medal position. Spain will be in the bronze. Spain benefiting from that lap taken with Cavendish and Wiggins. Mark Cavendish gets to hear the London roar. The Spaniards, what a day. That was an incredible sprint. Cavendish is covered in track birds. He's looking for his family, I'm pretty sure. Last night, Peter was here. Wiggins bows. Cavendish just looking to see where Peter is with the kids. And there she is. She wants to get onto the track. Oh, there he is with his daughter. And Peter's there as well. That was a fantastic finish. With his two girls. Finn isn't there. Wiggins kisses the track. They get to hear the London roar, which is absolutely incredible. The atmosphere is off the scale. Cavendish says, finally, that hurt. It hurt for all sorts of reasons, not just the track burns, but also the amount of effort they had to put in to get away from the field was exceptional. It's party time in the London Velodrome.
Superstar, awesome. Right.
You saw Cavendish, the track speed that he's getting. Wiggins and Cav, well, they've had their differences at times. They're like brothers. They fall out and they make up. Wiggins and Cavendish are world champions of the Madison. Shane Sutton gives them a big round of applause, so does Heiko. And they slap Cavendish, who probably isn't very thankful for that with the track burns he's going to have. The result of an incredible Madison. Great Britain win with 21 points. France take the silver medal and Spain take the bronze. Well, I think we're going to be able to see the crash. Here we go. This is Spain. And there's the onboard. The Dutch rider Cavendish crashing, hitting the back of the Dutch rider there, touching wheels. And he's pretty sore. He'll be pulling splinters out for a little while. Cavendish with a big rip on the back of his thigh there. Wiggins into the action. That's what it means to win a world title.
Finally, there will be our closing ceremony. So who's taken for all of that? We're not finished yet. The celebrations are going on for some time yet.
She's all smiles. Cavendish and Wiggins bring home the final world title of these championships and give a British crowd what they wanted. Wiggins kisses the track. It's been a good track to him, hasn't it? The world hour record and now a world title. Well, let's make sure that we award the final medals of this championship. We have a couple of ceremonies to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony of the UCI Track Cycling World Championships Women's Sprint.
Les médailles et le maillot de champion du monde UCI sont remis par le président de la commission piste UCI et membre du comité
The victory
directeur
ceremony
UCI.
of the
The
women's
medals
sprints.
and the UCI World Champions jersey will be presented by the UCI Track Commission President and member of the UCI Management Committee, Marianne Stettina.
Médaille de bronze représentant l'Allemagne.
Winner of the bronze medal, representing Germany, Christina Vogel.
Christina Vogel takes the bronze medal. Double world champion 2015-2014. Back on the podium yet again.
Médaille d'argent représentant la Chine.
Winner of the silver medal, representing China, Lin Junhong.
Lin Junhong is the silver medalist. The first all-Chinese final in the women's sprint.
Championne du monde et vainqueur de la médaille d'or du sprint femme des championnats du monde piste UCI, représentant la Chine.
The UCI Track Cycling World Championships Women's Sprint gold medalist and winner of the UCI World Champions jersey, representing China, Tian Shishong.
Tian Shishong, the first Chinese champion onto the podium, the world sprint champion.
Les fleurs sont remises par le chef des événements majeurs London and Partners.
The flowers will be presented by the head of major events, London and Partners, Ian Edmondson.
The rainbow bands then on the shoulders of Tian Shishong as we wait for the
Mesdames et
national
messieurs,
anthem of
l'hymne
China.
national de la Chine.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of China.
Des applaudissements pour le médaillé.
The podium of the women's sprint. Tianqi Xiong, the world champion, Lin Junghong, the silver medalist, Christina Vogel, the bronze medalist. All smiles on the podium. The roar of the London Velodrome. I don't know if it's ever been louder. That was an incredible Madison race. As Tianqi Xiong goes to sign the rainbow jerseys. Of course, our final presentation of the 19 medals will be to the winners of the Madison. The victory ceremony of the men's Madison. Well, what a breathtaking Madison to finish things off. And let's hear now from the new world champions, Mark Cavendish and Sir Bradley Wiggins.
Bradley, what a show, what a performance. We saw you kissing the track at the end of that race. What do you want to say? What do you want to say to the crowd tonight?
No, it's my last race on this track, so it wasn't a bad one, was it? You know, so,
That crowd was really pushing you guys. I mean, all through this week. Do you want to give some words to these people?
I don't know if this is the last race on this track. We might have to ride the London 6-day here together at the end and celebrate being world champions again. So we'll see. But well, that was incredible. It's the second world championship together. We rode 8 years ago, and I'm so happy. It's one of the last times we will ride together, and that's incredible. That's one of the greatest wins of my career. So.
You gave an impressive attack 15 laps before the end. Was that the tactic? Was that something thought before?
We knew we'd have the legs the later we got into the race, and you know, we knew the Spanish was strong, and they kept trying, and it just kept buying our time. We knew everyone was on their knees, and it was sort of now or never. We didn't come here to finish fourth, and fortunately we'd racked up enough points early on. Yeah, that was bloody hard. Jesus, man. You know.
There was this attack, very impressive. There was your crash as well, Mark. I mean, you kept focused till the end of the race, though.
Oh, you have to, you know. You see how quickly it is to get a lap, especially when everyone's tired. We knew the Belgians there. I couldn't see them. They weren't on the first page, so I didn't know how many points they had. So it was just about staying up there, and obviously, yeah, it's the end of the world. We've got no other events to keep ourselves for, and it was just nice to stay up there. It's just being safe. Obviously, we weren't, but that's all right. You know, hearing the crowd there at the end, it just kept us going. So thank you all for your support.
This victory this victory seals a great week for Team GB, this sort of cherry on top of the cake. You couldn't have dreamed of a better end today.
Yeah, you know, and I think it's a home world. You don't get many of. We've been fortunate to get, well, me, you know, I've had 3 home world championships now in the last 17 years. I rode this event first time in 1998 with Rob Hales. So 18 years ago I did the first one, and this was my last, so what better way to do it, Mark? Yeah.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Congratulations. Thank you.
So Bradley Wiggins and Mark Cavendish, the new World Madison champions. What a way to go out on this track. Wiggins doesn't want to race up here again. Cavendish says, on the other hand, he should ride the London 6-day before he retires. Getting ready then for the final medal presentation of these last few days of racing. It's a good moment as far as a British crowd is concerned.
The medal ceremony.
But the Spaniards, what a great race they put in. They helped Cavendish and Wiggins get across, and they clinched then the bronze medal.
Les médailles et le maillot de champion du monde UCI sont remis par un membre du comité directeur de l'UCI.
The medals and UCI World Championship jerseys will be presented by the member of the UCI Management Committee, Renato Di Rocco.
Médaille de bronze représentant l'Espagne.
Winners of the bronze medal, Spain. Spain represented by Sebastian Mora and Albert Torres.
Mora and Torres take the bronze medal. Torres has been a world champion previously.
Médaille d'argent représentant la France.
Winners of the silver medals, France.
France représentée par Morgan
Morgan, the champion previously in the Madison, paired with Benjamin Thomas, takes the silver medal.
Champion du monde et vainqueur de la médaille d'or de la Madison 50 km hommes des championnats du monde piste UCI, représentant la Grande-Bretagne.
The UCI Track Cycling World Championships men's Madison gold medalists and winners of the UCI World Championship jerseys, Great Britain.
Cavendish and Wiggins are the world champions. Wiggins twice now a world champion in the Madison. Cavendish makes it a hat-trick.
Sir Bradley Wiggins and Mark Cavendish.
Mark Cavendish first won a World Madison title in 2005 in Los Angeles before he really embarked on the career that we've got used to seeing him in. Cavendish was paired with Rob Hales. He then paired with Bradley Wiggins in 2008. Now they win it again.
The flowers will be presented by the President of British Cycling, Bob Howden, OBE.
Delilah looks happy. Peter in the background.
Mesdames et messieurs, l'hymne national de la Grande-Bretagne.
And now the national
Ladies and
anthem
gentlemen,
of Great
the
Britain.
national anthem of Great Britain.
Mark Cavendish and Bradley Wiggins, the new World Madison champions. The celebrations then on the podium. Delilah gets the flowers. I think he's a bit sore after that. The world's press getting their photos. I think they might be doing interviews for quite a while. Looking across this track then, we've seen some incredible moments of the last few days. And let's take a look at some of those moments and some of the medal winners. That's all the medals now being presented. This is the final medal table after 19 events. Great Britain topped the medal table with 5 golds, 1 silver and 3 bronze. Germany in second place, Australia in third. That's a makeup of the top 6. On the second page then, Poland there with 1 gold, 1 silver. The United States with that historic gold medal and taking also a bronze. The Italians walk away with a gold and the Netherlands with 3 silvers and 1 bronze. Canada up there with 2 silvers, 2 bronze. And Hong Kong, China also up there with a number of nations tied in 15th place. And the final medals there, 1 bronze each for Cuba, Denmark, Malaysia and Switzerland. And of course, next year, the World Championships will be in Hong Kong, and Great Britain now hand the flag via the UCI to the organising committee in Hong Kong for the World Championships of next year. We're looking forward then to a fantastic World Championships next year. What a few days it has been. We've seen some stunning performances, some breathtaking moments, and we've ended up with the most thrilling bike race that I think many of us have ever seen on the track. These two men have lit up this audience in this arena. I hope you've all enjoyed being with us for these World Track Championships here in London. The racing has come to a close. From me, Anthony McCrossan, thank you for listening. Goodbye for now.